And so, keeping the eyes closed, I wanted to share this quote that I have um, by Bruce Springsteen, who I love. And so, Bruce Springsteen says, "The primary math of the real world is 1 and 1 equals 2. The layman, as often do I, swings that every day. He goes to the job, does his work, pays his bills, and comes home. 1 plus 1 equals 2. He keeps the world spinning. But artists, musicians, conmen, poets, mystics, and such are paid to turn that math on its head, to rub 2 sticks together and bring forth fire. Everyone performs this alchemy somewhere in life, but it's hard to hold on to and easy to forget. People won't come to rock shows or yoga classes to learn something new. They come to be reminded of something they already knew and feel deep down in their gut. That is when the world is at its best, when we are at our best, when life feels fullest. 1 and 1 equals 3. So, taking a moment here, maybe there were parts of that quote that stuck out to you, made you think, or maybe you want to take this moment to set an intention for your practice today. So, taking a couple of breaths here. And open the eyes. We're going to begin by rolling the neck to the right, making circles slowly, pausing if you hear any cracks. Pausing here and change direction, rolling the neck to the left. Pausing here, moving down to the shoulders, begin to shrug the shoulders, rolling them forward. Then changing direction, moving them the other way. Pausing here, clasping the hands here, and then moving your wrists, hearing little cracks, and then changing direction, loosening up the joints. Then releasing the hands, begin to draw circles through the hips. So going one way and making the circles as big or small as you would like. Then pausing to go the other way. Coming back to stillness. Inhale, raise the arms alongside the ears. Exhale, twist to the right, placing your right hand on your sacrum, which is the back, the lower back, and then your left hand outside of the right thigh, looking over the right shoulder. So breathing through the belly here, twisting through the torso, feeling the collarbones expand. Inhale here, exhale. Inhale, The arms come alongside the ears, torso comes back through center. Exhale to twist to the left, placing your left hand on your sacrum, your right hand on the outside of your left thigh, looking over your left shoulder. Breathing here. Inhale, coming back through center, arms alongside the ears. Exhale, twist to the right once more. Gaze over that right shoulder. Imagine your torso is like a dirty washcloth getting run out of dirty water. Inhale, arms alongside the ears. Exhale to twist to the left. Gazing over that left shoulder. Inhale, back through center, arms alongside the ears. Exhale to lower the right hand outside of the right hip, leaning over to the right with your left arm alongside the left ear. Gaze can be up towards the ceiling or out in front of you. Feeling your left sit bone grounded into the blanket or the pillow. I know I have a tendency to lift that left sit bone up. Feeling a nice stretch on the left side body. Feeling here. Inhale to come through center. Raise the right arm both arms alongside the ears. Exhale, lower the left hand next to the left hip, leaning over to the left side, bringing your right arm alongside your right ear. Gaze can be up towards the ceiling. Feeling length in the right side body. Inhale to come back through center. Exhale to lean back over to the right. Feeling the expansiveness through the chest. Inhale to come back through center and exhale to lean over to the left. Inhale, bring the arms alongside the ears, lower the arms, and remove whatever you were sitting on top of. Put that off to the side. I find it helpful to put it up by the top of my mat. And we're gonna come into tabletop. So for tabletop, your hips are gonna be above your knees, your shoulders above the wrists. We're gonna take a couple rounds of cat-cow. So on the inhale, lower the belly, broaden the collarbones, lift the face for cow pose. Exhale, belly to spine, round the back, drop the face, cat pose. Inhale, drop the belly, lift the face, cow pose. Exhale, tuck the tailbone, drop the face, cat pose. Take a couple more rounds of cat and cow, going at your own pace. Coming into cow pose on the inhale, exhaling into cat pose. And after your next round, finding a neutral spine, coming back into tabletop. You're going to inhale to rise the right arm up towards the sky. Exhale to thread the right arm in between the left leg and the left arm, or thread the needle. Laying the right cheek on the mat, bringing your left hand out in front of you, or you can bring your left hand to your lower back, whichever is more comfortable for you. Feeling the tension of the right shoulder pressing into the mat. Walk the left hand back in closer. Press into the left hand as you unthread the needle, and you lift the right arm up towards the sky, bringing the right hand back down to the mat, and take a couple of rounds of cat and cow here. Inhaling for cow pose, exhaling for cat pose. Once again, finding a neutral spine in tabletop position. Inhale, lift the left arm up towards the sky. Exhale, bring the left arm through the space in between the right knee and the right hand. Laying the left cheek onto the mat. Bringing your right hand, if you'd like, walking it out in front of you. Or bringing the right hand towards your lower back. Begin to walk your right hand in closer to your body. Press into your right hand. Lift the left arm up towards the sky. And then lowering that left hand down. Taking a couple more rounds of cat and cow at your own pace. Coming back to a neutral spine, to tabletop position. Begin to walk your hands out in front of you as your chest and your forehead come towards the mat. Perhaps your forehead rests on top of the mat, coming into puppy pose. So your hips here are staying above the knees, and your forearms can come down to the mat, chest down to the mat. You should feel an opening through the chest. I'm keeping my face up so you guys can hear me. But if it kind of feels like you're smushing your face into the mat, then you're doing it right. You can begin to lift the face, begin to walk your hands in back to tabletop. And then you're going to tuck the toes, lift the knees, lift the hips, press into the hands, and press back into downward facing dog. So as the first downward facing dog, you may want to take some adjustments, walking the hands out a little bit, pedaling the feet, perhaps nodding your head yes, shaking your head no thank you, releasing any tension in the neck, eventually finding stillness in downward facing dog. Feeling your heels reach towards your mat. Your hips are rising up towards the sky. All 10 fingers are pressing into the mat. Inhale here. Exhale to lower the knees onto the mat. Untuck the toes. Bring the sit bones back to meet the heels, finding child's pose. So finding wide-legged child's pose here. Separating the knees so your torso has room to lay. Stretching your arms out in front of you, bringing your forehead to the mat. Taking some deep breaths here. Inhaling to the belly, and then exhale. You can come to child's pose or balasana at any point in the practice tonight. This can be your home base. Begin to lift the head, press into the hands, and then tuck the toes, lift the knees, coming back up into your downward facing dog. Inhale, lift the right foot up towards the sky. Exhale, bringing the right foot in between the hands, lowering that back left knee down, and then rising the arms alongside the ears for a lunge, pressing the right knee forward, feeling a nice stretch in the left hip. Then you're going to take hold of your left wrist with your right hand and begin to lean over to the right. Slowly, so you maintain balance. But you should feel some nice lengthening on the left side. Taking some deep belly breaths here. Inhale here, the arms alongside the ears, letting go of the wrist. Exhale to frame the right foot, step the right knee back, and take a couple of rounds of cat and cow. Finding a neutral spine here. Tuck the toes, press into the hands, lift the knees, lift the hips, coming back into a downward facing dog. Inhale to lift the left foot up towards the sky. Exhale, place the left foot in between the hands, lowering the back right knee down, lifting the arms alongside the ears, coming into a lunge on the left side. So the left knee is coming in front of the left ankle, feeling a stretch in the right hip. Collarbones are broadened, chest is open, your heart is shining out in front of you. Take hold of your right wrist with your left hand and begin to slightly lean over to the left. Remembering to breathe here. Bringing the torso back to center, letting go of the right wrist. Arms come alongside the ears. And then lower the hands down to frame that left foot. Step the left foot back, coming into tabletop, taking a couple more rounds of cat and cow. Finding a neutral spine, tuck the toes, press into the hands, lift the knees up, finding downward facing dog. Inhale to lift the right foot up towards the sky. Exhale, place the right foot in between the hands, lowering the back left foot so it's parallel to the back of the mat, setting up for warrior two. Inhale to lift the torso, bend into the right knee, finding warrior one or warrior two on the right side. So your front heel is running perpendicular to your back left foot. Your right knee is over the right ankle. Your torso, chest, collarbones are facing the long left side of your mat. Gaze is out over that right middle finger. Shoulders are relaxed. Bending deeply into that right knee. Inhale here. Exhale. Begin to straighten the right knee as you bring your hands to your hips. Sass your left hip back as you lower your right hand onto your shin or maybe onto the floor. Lift your left arm up, finding triangle pose on the right side. So your gaze here can be up towards the sky, finding that left thumb, or it can be out in front of you, feeling space in the lower back, not crunching too much on that right side. Inhale here. Exhale to lift the torso up. Rotate, bending into that right knee and rotating the right foot so it's in line with the left foot. Straightening the knees, bringing the hands to the hip. Begin to hinge at the hips and lean forward, coming into a wide-legged fold. Bringing your hands to the mat. Feeling a nice stretch through the hamstrings. Letting go in the neck. Breathing here. Begin to bring your hands to the hips as you slowly rise up. Rotating that front right foot, coming through warrior two. And then cartwheeling your hands, framing the right foot, stepping back into downward facing dog. So option here is to flow through a vinyasa. I'm going to stay in downward facing dog, or you can come into child's pose. Inhale to lift the left foot up towards the sky. Exhale, place the left foot in between the hands, lowering that back right foot, and then standing up, coming into warrior two on the left side. So again, your left heel is intersecting that back right foot, the arch. The left knee is over the left ankle. hips, torso, chest are facing the long right side of the mat. I'm gonna switch sides so you can hear me better. Your arms are out to a T. Gaze is over your left middle finger. Shoulders are relaxed. Inhale here. Exhale, straighten out the left leg. Bring the hands to the hips as you sass that right hip back. And then bringing the left hand to either your shin or the floor. Bringing the right arm up towards the sky. Gazing up to your right hand or gazing out in front of you for triangle pose on the left side. Feel your collarbones expand from one another. Feel the tips of your fingers reaching away from one another. Begin to create a micro bend in that left knee to lift the torso up. And then bringing the hands to the hips, rotating that left foot so it's in line with the right foot. Clasp your hands together behind you and puff out your chest as you begin to lower and hinge at the hips, lowering, bringing the hands up towards the sky. Once again, feeling a nice stretch in the hamstrings. Making sure there is equal weight between the heel of your foot and your toes. You're not dumping too much weight into the heels. Unclasp the hands, bring your hands to your hips. You can bend the knees here as you rise the torso up. Then rotating your left foot, coming back into a warrior two. And cartwheeling the hands to frame your left foot. Step the left foot back into a downward facing dog. So option here is to flow through a vinyasa or take a child's pose. And here we'll lower the knees, untuck the toes, bring the sit bones back to meet the heels, coming into a child's pose. Connecting to the breath, noticing if it feels different after doing some poses, if you're breathing heavier or faster. Begin to press into the hands, coming back into a tabletop position, and then making your way up into downward facing dog. Begin to walk your feet slowly towards the top of your mat. bending at the knees here if you need to. And then grab opposite elbows as you're taking your forward fold. And begin to sway side to side. Pausing here, begin to sway forward and backwards. And then coming to stillness. As you release hold of the elbows, let your arms hang heavy. And slowly, vertebra by vertebra, rise up. I'm going to adjust my camera a little bit so you can see me. Okay. Closing your eyes here, finding Tadasana. So for Tadasana, your feet are about hips width distance apart. Light up the quads here. Release the arms out to the side. The shoulders are relaxed. The ears are lifting away from the shoulders. Feel the power of the pose, Tadasana or mountain pose. Open the eyes and bring your right hand out, and then lift the right foot up behind you and grab hold of the right foot, the outside of the right foot with your right hand. We're going to come into dancer's pose. So you lift your left arm out in front of you and then begin hinging at the hips, stopping at any point, also creating a micro bend in the left knee, and then kicking your right foot back into your right hand as much as you're feeling the pull of your right hand onto your right foot. If you come out of the pose, come back in, trying to find a point of focus or your drishti, looking at something that's not moving. Slowly coming back to standing, lowering the left arm, lowering the right leg, shake it out, shaking out any tension in your left hip, in your shoulders. This time, begin pouring weight into the right foot as you bring your left hand out and lift up your back left leg, grabbing the outside of your left foot, the top of your left foot, rising your right arm alongside the ear, hinging at the hips, bending in the right knee as you find dancer pose on the left side. Again, feeling your left foot kick into your left hand. Releasing your left foot, lowering your right arm, again, shaking it out. And then begin to bring your feet so they're slightly wider than hips distance apart. Turn both feet outwards. We're going to come into a yogi squat. So bringing hands to heart center, bending at the knees, coming. You may have to adjust a little bit, bringing the elbows, pressing the elbows into the inside thighs. using any props here. You can sit on a prop that feels good. And then all together, we'll bring the sit bones down to the ground. So here, you'll lengthen the right leg out in front of you, bringing the left sole of the foot onto the inside of the right thigh. Inhale here to lengthen the spine. Exhale to walk your hands out, grabbing either your right shin or your right foot, bringing your nose to your knee, coming into Janu Shirshasana or head to knee pose. Release, hold whatever you're holding on to. Begin to walk your hands in closer towards your body. Then swap out your legs so your left leg is long. Your right foot comes into the left inner thigh, bending at the right knee. Inhale to lengthen the spine. Exhale to walk the hands out in front of you, grabbing either your foot, your shin, bringing your forehead towards your knee. Release hold of whatever you're holding on to, walking your hands in up to your body, and then making your way onto your backs. I'm going to move my mat to make sure that you all can see me. So bending the knees here, take your right foot and lay your right ankle across your left thigh, creating a figure 4 with your right leg. So you can stay here, or you can you can interlock your hands behind your left thigh to feel the stretch a little deeper. And if you're doing that, keep your head and your back on the mat. And then you can pull your left leg in closer to you to feel the sensation more, keeping your right foot flexed. So you should feel a stretch in the right outer hip. There shouldn't be any pain in the right knee. So if there is, definitely release hold of your left leg if you're holding on to it. Breathing into the space, you feel the sensation. Inhale here. Exhale, lower the left foot, lower the right foot, keeping the knees bent, and then windshield wipering the knees side to side. So releasing the stretch. Then coming back to center, having both knees bent, this time lifting your left ankle so it comes across your right thigh, creating a figure four. You can stay here, or you can take hold of the back of the right thigh, or you can take hold of the right shin. And if you're taking hold of the right leg, lower the back and the head down to the mat so you're not creating tension in the neck. Keeping the left foot flexed. Release hold of the right leg if you're holding on to it. Lower the left foot down to the mat. Again, windshield wipering the knees side to side. Bringing the knees back to center. Bring your arms into a cactus position, and then lower the knees over to the right, gazing over your left arm. So if you need to see what cactus arms are like, they're like this. Breathing deeply into the belly here. Begin to roll your head to center, bring your knees to center, and then lower the knees over the left side, gazing over your right arm. Begin to roll your head back to center, bring your knees back to center, and then bring your knees into your chest, hugging your knees in. And begin to roll on your back, eventually rolling into a seated position. So sitting on something like you were in the beginning of class, coming into a cross-legged position. We're going to do some soft belly breathing before Shavasana. So take your right hand, lay it on your heart. You can take your left hand, lay it on your tummy. And for this, you'll simply inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth. Inhale through the nose, feel your belly expand. Exhale through the mouth. You can close your eyes here. Challenging yourself to breathe a little bit slower than you typically would. Bring your hands to the tops of your thighs, closing the eyes here, checking in with the body. And then remove whatever you're sitting on top of. And then lay on your back, on your mat, getting ready for Shavasana. So adding any layers you would like here, sweater or blankets. Laying down on the mat. Your palms are facing the sky. Your feet are relaxed. Legs are relaxed. Your whole body is relaxed. Eyes are closed. Total relaxation. Begin to wiggle the toes, wiggle the fingertips, bringing movement back into the body. Then bending the right elbow, making a pillow for yourself. As you roll onto your right side, taking a moment here to pause and thank yourself for practicing. Begin to press into the left hand as you make your way up into a seated position, keeping the eyes closed or a soft gaze. Bring the arms out and up, arms alongside the ears. Then draw the hands in through center, bowing. Namaste. So let me unmute you all. Thank you, everyone. If you have any questions, comments, or whatever, feel free to text me, reach out to me. This was really great. So yeah, I want to thank you all for coming.
Thanks, Mom.
Thank
you, Mom.
Thanks, Mom.
You're welcome. Good night, everyone.
Bye.
Yeah.
Bye.
I don't know how to leave.
How do I leave? You can just exit.
Bye.
Bye.